My presentation is on Linus Pauling. He's the chemistry figure that I chose for this historical figure project. Some history on Pauling. He was born in Portland, Oregon in 1901. His father died while he was at a young age of 9, which forced Pauling to get a job at the age of 12 to help his family and his mother get through. His mom did urge him to become a machinist, but after one of Pauling's friends showed him a chemistry project that he was working on, Pauling realized that he was really interested in the science field. So in 1917, he entered the Oregon Agricultural College, which is now known as Oregon State University, and this is where he studied chemical engineering. He would take his chemistry classes and do so well in them that as soon as he was done taking them, he would become a teacher for that class. And it was during one of his teachings that he met a woman that he would eventually fall in love with and marry. He graduated from the Oregon Agricultural College with a Bachelor's of Science in Chemical Engineering. In 1923, he published his first scientific paper, particularly on crystal structure, and in 1925 he graduated at the top of his class from California Institute of Technology with a PhD in chemistry. From 1942 to 1945, he worked for several divisions of the National Defense Research Commission. This is around the time of World War II, where Pauling offered his help to the U.S. government. He helped them to develop future technology in missiles for the U.S. Navy. He helped them create some explosives that they could use during the war. He also helped the Navy by creating a machine that would measure the oxygen levels in some of the submarines. Um, this was pretty important because it went on to help develop incubators for infants who need their gas levels to be measured. It also went on to help patients that are going into surgery and need anesthesia. A lot of the work that Pauling did during World War II for the U.S. government went on to affect the science community. Just some more history on Pauling. In 1956, Pauling and his wife went to the UN Secretary with a petition to end nuclear bomb testing. This petition was signed by over 11,000 other scientists who also agreed with what Pauling was fighting for. Um, Pauling got a lot of um, hate from governments who did not like that he was speaking out, so they denied him access to getting a passport to travel to their country, which was pretty important because I talked about it in my essay, but the DNA, the deoxyribonucleic acid model that Watson and Crick came up with, um, Pauling had released a year before they had released. He released his own model, but there was an error in it. The only reason that he had an error was because he was not able to look at Rosalind Frank's research that she had done, and the reason he couldn't see it is because he wasn't able to travel to Great Britain to see her work. And so a lot of scientists believe that if Pauling was able to travel and see Rosalind Frank's work, that he would have beat Watson and Crick to creating the DNA model that we now know today as the double helix strand. In 1966, he redirected his interests to vitamins and nutrients, where he realized the impact that vitamin C could have on diseases. In 1970, he published his first book, Vitamin C and the Common Cold, where he talked about vitamin C and its effects on the common cold. In 1973, he created the Institute of Orthomolecular Medicine, and in 1994, Pauling died, leaving over 400,000 journals, scientific writings, papers, models, and other scientific memorabilia. He is one of the scientists to leave the most memorabilia in history. Some awards and successes that Pauling received. In 1933, he was elected to the National Academy of Sciences. In 1939, he wrote an article, The Nature of the Chemical Bond, which was published by Cornell University Press, and this is one of the most well-known articles of that time. In 1946, he became a member of the Emergency Committee of Atomic Scientists. He was invited into this committee by Albert Einstein, who was also speaking out against nuclear bomb testing after Hiroshima. In 1948, he received the Presidential Medal of Merit by the U.S. for his help in World War II. In 1949, he became the president of the American Chemical Society. In 1954, he received the Nobel Prize in Chemistry for his work in chemical bonds. And in 1963, he received the Nobel Peace Prize for 1962. He was the only person in history to ever get 2 Nobel Peace Prizes that are not shared with other people. Sorry, Nobel Prizes, not Nobel Peace Prizes. In 1996, Linus Pauling he got the former Institute of Orthomolecular Medicine that he created. He got a new institute that was transferred to Oregon State University to be named after him. And in 2011, Pauling Science Center at OSU was created, where Oregon State created the Science Center to remember all of his efforts that he did. And then some reasons why he's significant. He's very diverse in the science community. He is a role model to many people. He's an activist and he speaks out for what he believes in. And he made a difference in the world. I think that's pretty important to realize that even from a young age, he knew what he wanted to do and he went out and he did it. He was very successful in learning the things that he did, and he has inspired me to go on and try and gain knowledge in more than one thing like he did with science. He knew information about all aspects of science, and he's known as one of the greatest scientists of the 20th century. That's it, and these are my references.